Hello there everyone, and welcome back to these beautiful Elgar very easy melodious etudes. So today we are on the violin and we're going to check out Etude D as in decoration. So Etude D is really pretty. It's in the key of G. We have one sharp, so we got an F sharp, and we are in the time signature 3/4. It also says andantino. So andantino is kind of a slowish, moderate, easy pace. So maybe we put the metronome around 72 for andantino. Bum, 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 bum. Something like that maybe to strive for. But before we jump into this one, let's go ahead and grab a pencil and we're going to put in some details and some little scribbles hither and thither. So let's take a look at the first line. The first line is all piano, so it's really quiet, the whole first line. At the end of the first line, we have crescendo or creche written. Crescendo, we're going to get louder, but it doesn't actually specify how much louder we should get, and so we'll just kind of use our artistic sensibilities, and given the fact that it's, you know, within piano context, maybe just get to no more than mezzo forte or something, and then it comes right back to piano. In the first half of the second line, there's also a repeat sign, so we're going to repeat back to the very beginning. That's what the two little dots like this are next to the double bar in the middle-ish of the second line. So we'll play it twice, and then we're going to continue on with the next section, which is the second half of the second line. And you can see there's actually some weird little bowings. There's a bowing that looks like an upside down bow, and I guess that's like a European way of expressing a down bow. It's a down bow, but we're used to seeing it the other way over here in the States. So there's also lines over some of those quarter notes, and sometimes you'll see them over the eighth notes in the third line as well, in the fourth line. So those are détaché and also tenuto strokes. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of lean on them a little bit more, not necessarily because we lean on détaché more, but it's kind of like a subtle emphasis to the note, and also we want to make sure that we're holding the note for its full value. A tenuto is, you're going to hold that note for its full value, as opposed to sometimes we can kind of rush through them. So let's see, what else do we have? Let's look at the third line. So the third line, we still have those little tenutos or détaché or like subtle emphasis on the quarter notes with a crescendo really rapidly to forte. And forte is really, really loud, like you're projecting your voice really loudly. We've got a retard that's coming up. Dee da 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 da. And then we go to a tempo piano again. Bum 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 ba ba bum. And in the last line, line 4, we're starting at piano. We crescendo to forte very quickly, a very rapid decrease to piano, and then we end pianissimo. And right before the first ending, we have that little fermata, and we also have a grace note. So it sounds like this. This is the measure before the first ending. All right, so I think that's kind of our little scan of this one, if that makes any sense. If you want, you can play along with me. I just thought you might want to hear what it sounds like. So I'm not going to do the repeats. I'm going to just play it all the way through without any repeats, just so that you can hear it, and then we'll go through it together and catch some details. So as I'm playing through it, maybe notice where I am in the bow, and you could make a note like if I'm at the tip or the upper half, or if I start to kind of move and use more bow, if you ever notice I'm in the lower half, little things like that. So I'll put the metronome on. This is 72. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna go on. All right, so something like that. Let's take a look at the first half. So from the very beginning to that repeat in the second line. Let's see if we can just program our bow. So because it's piano, let's hang out in the upper half of the bow. So put your bow in the middle and we're going to use that upper half. Let's also make sure that our contact point is a little further away from the bridge. So it's very light. Can we just play open G? Listen to this. See if you can get a really light sound like that with me. Let's try it together. Nice and smooth bow changes. Let's think 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. So nice and slow. Shall we give it a try? Let's try the first half together. So all the way to that repeat in the second line. Ready? Let's put our bow on the string right in the middle. Closer to the fingerboard again. 1, 2, 3. Crescendo. And then quiet. All right. I just realized I forgot to give you the hand pattern. So since we have an F sharp, or that's our only altered note, that means on the G string, you're going to have the basic hand pattern, G, A, B, C, D. So we have the basic here. And it's the same on the D string, D, E, F sharp, G, A. On the A string, we have low 2, A, B, C, because we don't have a C sharp. So we have a low 2 there. Whole step to G, whole step to E. So this is our low 2 hand pattern. And it's going to be the same on the E string as well. So E, F sharp, G, A, B. All right, so we just have 2 hand patterns, basic, basic, low 2, low 2. So with that, let's try the second half. We're going to start after the repeat on the second line on those E's. E, E, E. So we're still piano. So let's hang out in that upper part of the bow. Put your bow on the E string. Let's just sit there for a minute. Find your instrument position and your elbow position, all of that. And we're just going to kind of gently lean on those notes that have the line over them. So let's give this a try. 1, 2, 3. Forte, retard, and then All right, so let's grab a pencil and let's definitely in the third line circle the crescendo at the beginning of the third line, and just write more bow. Use more bow to do that crescendo. Here's the beginning of the third line. It starts piano. So I'm going to start to use more bow. The whole bow on that one. And as I'm doing the little eighth note section, I'm also doing the retard. And I'm starting to get a little quieter in the sound. So you can write the word less or less bow there by the eighth note section. And then right after those eighth notes end, we begin a new measure that has a tempo written above it. And a tempo is just back to our original tempo because we slowed down. Dee da 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 da. So back into tempo there. In the fourth line, let's also mark the crescendo and then immediately to forte. So lots of bow. Let's write more bow. And then on the decrescendo, let's write less bow. And just piano is very, very quiet. And we want to get to the tip of the bow. If you can write to tip, that would be a great idea. So with that, let's play the whole thing together from the very beginning. And we'll take the repeats this time. And I'll put the metronome on. I'm going to go a little slower. So rather than 72, let's try 66. All right? So we're going to do the repeats this time. So let's put our bow on the string. We're in the upper half of the bow, close to the fingerboard. Let's take a little breath there. And I'll count to 3. All right? 1, 2, 3. Back to the beginning. Back to the repeat. How did you do? I hope you had fun with that one. This is such a pretty little tune. Like, can you imagine how pretty this would be with piano? Make a pianist friend. You can totally do that. I actually met a pianist this last weekend at an event, And she just walked right up to me and said hi, and she said, what do you do? And I said, I'm a music teacher. And she said, I'm a music teacher too. And she happened to play the piano. And so, you know, just going out and about in the world, you never know. Just put it out into the universe that you need a pianist friend, and maybe one will walk right up to you and say hi. So with that, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful week. Next lesson, you'll see that we have a bowing technique coming out. So rather than me just checking on you next week, you'll also see a little video on, I believe, legato is the first stroke that we're going to learn. So happy practicing, you guys. Bye.